Hello and welcome to Bellastar Astrology. I am your host, Stella, and this is your reading for August 2022 for my Capricorns out there. And I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Please check out the link in the description where you can find the playlist for all 12 signs for your readings for your sun, moon, and rising, as well as information on how you can get your own reading with me of your natal chart for your astrological needs. Now, let's hop in, Capricorn. This month is all about your ninth house. This is like super exciting for you guys when it comes to travel, when it comes to exploring, when it comes to deciding where you're going to go, how you're going to do it. Capricorns, we're going to start with Mercury entering Virgo on August 3rd. So it's like right off the bat, you are already ready. Your mind is on your new thoughts, your new beliefs, where you're going to travel to, what you're going to do, and really thinking about how you want to make those things happen. How can they happen with maybe your full-time job that you're like over, or maybe the things that you do on a daily basis. You guys really are workaholics, very focused on work. And, this ninth house activation makes you think that there might be more to life than just like the hustle culture that you are, probably the author of. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, then we move on, and the full moon in Aquarius and Venus in Leo happen pretty much on the same day, August 11th. And they're opposing each other on the second and on a full moon on the second house and Venus in Leo in the eighth. This is an activation of your money houses, whether it's your eighth house, the money that you receive, versus your second house, how you think of money, where you receive money from, etc. But this is all about money. And I wouldn't lie and say like you might end sort of the thought process about where you have your values, because the full moon is in the second house, and maybe the full-time job that you have is not providing enough money or is not providing enough flexibility so you can enjoy your money. And then Venus entering Leo in the eighth house is going to give you a little bit of grace, a little bit of positivity when it comes to the money that you inherit, the money that you get from others, the money that you earn, and are able to earn from other assets, so to speak, and just a whole revamp to your finances. So you might be ending the way you think about your money in one end, but then really receiving from a really positive place with Venus in your eighth house. So I would definitely enjoy this placement of Venus transiting your eighth house, and maybe make some plans to solve some debts you have, make some plans to create new wealth through the assets you've been investing in. This is not financial advice by any means, but definitely utilize this Venus transit to make better results for yourself financially, as well as creating the type of momentum that you want to help you strategize on how you can make more money, because Venus is the sign of money. It represents Taurus, it represents Libra. Both signs really deal with how we use our resources and gain resources, etc. And then, of course, we want to see that Mars entering Gemini on August 20th. And, you got a sixth house activation again. This is going to be super energizing to the hobbies and habits and the health that you have been developing over the last few months. What you want to do with this Gemini Mars energy, this transiting Mars energy in Gemini, is really decide how your lifestyle is going to be. Really motivate yourself to maybe exercise more as well and create a health routine. Mars is going to be here for a while, so I would definitely utilize it to maybe build a habit of exercising or build a habit of creating the type of body or health lifestyle that you would like to have, as well as motivating yourself to maybe earn money on a greater scale. Because Mars is an activating sign. It's an energy of activation. It is a malefic planet though, so it might also activate those negative aspects of the sixth house, which would be, bringing you troubles in your health, etc. But maybe what I always say with these Mars transit is be proactive. Don't wait for Mars to bring the problem to the table for you to do something. Utilize that energy to solve problems before they happen, or to strategize on how to make yourself better in general. And then, of course, it also affects your work-life balance. So be careful how you treat your employees. Be careful how you treat your boss. Be careful how you treat your job and the work that you're doing, because Mars is also negative. It's also malefic. It can bring a lot of anger or resentment about the job that you're doing, about the work that you're doing, all to motivate you, by the way, to do something positive, of like leaving the job that you hate or doing something else. But at the end of the day, do you really want to wait to blow up and have a problem in your workplace and like leave out of nowhere? Or do you want to strategize and use Mars to strategize, the god of war, god of strategy, to strategize on how you can take the steps to leave your current position and maybe make more money and maybe expand your horizons and do more positive things with that Mars energy? But moving on, Sun then enters Virgo on August 22nd. Is another activation of your ninth house. That's why I'm talking like maybe you're going to travel, maybe you're going to plan to travel, maybe you're going to develop a new form of study. You might enter university because you're utilizing Mars strategically to build wealth, and you're going to enter to study something new, like an accounting or something else, as Mercury's there too, right? And at the end of the day, like this fun sun energy is going to highlight all the ways you can improve your life through the ninth house, all the ways you can do different things to make those ninth house themes a part of your life and much easier. You might pick up a new religion, you might pick up a new strategy of thinking, and definitely take advantage and do something when it comes to travel, as this could be a great opportunity as well. Then we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus on August 24th. And this is happening in your fifth house. And I say this with love, like you might get someone pregnant. You might end up having a kid. You might end up doing some crazy activity, some crazy fun activity, or even getting an unexpected opportunity, since your ninth house is being activated, to travel around the world. Try and I would definitely, with the fifth house activation, I would definitely try and maybe one of those sweepstakes to like travel to another country. Like just try it. You never know. Uranus in there is supercharged because it's going to go retrograde, and it's just a fun time. Like I know Uranus is usually looked at like, oh my gosh, it's the unexpected, it's the craziness, it could bring about the end to something. And I could totally agree with that, but I also know Uranus could usher in a change that you've needed. It could usher in a change to be more responsible. It could, with the fifth house, since the fifth house represents sort of like irresponsibility, like how you have fun, how you disconnect, how you recharge. But at the same time, it could really help you to gain some self-respect, gain some confidence in the areas of your life that you felt a little bit of lacking as well. And maybe because you've gained confidence, now you're able to elevate yourself because you know you can do it. So, this Uranus retrograde is going to be there for a while. Use it for its good notes, and be careful of those unexpected results. Again, you could get someone pregnant. The fifth house is all about children. So just, if you're not interested in that, be careful with that. And then we have Mercury entering Libra on August 25th. It's finally leaving your ninth house and entering your 10th house. So all of those ninth house themes, the new philosophies you've been developing, all of that Mars energy in your sixth house, it's all going to culminate into the new thoughts you're going to have about your standing in the world, about how you think about life, about what you're doing with your life and how it's going to develop. And then, of course, maybe you got someone pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. But with Mercury in the 10th house, your standing in the world does change. Whether that's marriage, whether you start thinking more seriously about your family and your home life, whether you start thinking more seriously about how you provide for, the people that you care about, or how you work, or what you do for work. That Mercury is going to be active in that sign and in those thoughts about how you can improve your life. Then finally, we have the new moon in Virgo on August 27th. And this is the final activation of your ninth house. You might settle down and decide, like, what are the new plans that you have in mind? How would you like to formulate, your new philosophies? How would you like to solidify them? What would you like to do in the future when it comes to travel, etc.? And that is the astrology for August 2022. Thank you so much for listening. And please remember to like and subscribe. And if you would like to hear more about your sun, moon, or rising, check the link in the description for the astrology, monthly astrology playlist. And please remember to like and subscribe.